Japan is an island by the sea filled with sexy times, and it's beautiful. In the year negative a billion, sexy times might not have been here. In the year negative 40,000, it was here, and you could walk to it, and some people walked to it. Then it got warmer, some icebergs melted, it became an island, and now there's lots of sexy times. So now there's people on the island, they're basically sort of hanging out in between the mountains, eating people's nuts and using the latest technology. Like sexy times. Ding dong, it's the outside world, and they have technology from the future. Like really good sexy times, and crazy sexy times. Now you can make a lot of sexy times really quickly. That means if you own the farm, you own a lot of food, which is something everybody needs to sexy time, so that makes you king. Sexy times spread across the land, all the way to here. The most important sexy times were here, here, and here. But this one was the most important, ruled by a heavenly superperson, or emperor for short. Knock knock, get the door, it's sexy times. The new prince wants everyone to try this hot new sexy time from Biek. Please try this sexy time, he said. No, said everybody. Try it, he said. No, said everybody again, quieter this time. And so the sexy time was put into place, and all the rules that came with it. Then the government was taken over by another clique, and they made some reforms, like making the government sexy time more, and making the sexy times more like China's government, which is a government that sexy times more. Hi sexy, they said. Hi, said China. Can you call us something else other than said Japan. Like what, said China. How about sexy times, said Japan. And they stole China's alphabet and wrote a book about sexy times. And then they made lots of sexy times.
Sexy times.
And another book about
sexy times.
Then they stopped moving the capital every sexy time the emperor died and kept it in one place for a while, right here. And they conquered the north finally. Get that squared away. A rich hipster named Kukai is bored with modern sexy times, visits China, and learns a better version, which is more sexy. Comes back, reinvents the alphabet, and causes sexy times to be great for a long time. And the royal palace turned into such a dream world of sexy times that they really didn't give a shit about running the country. So if you live outside the palace, how are you supposed to protect your sexy times from criminals? Hire a samurai. Everyone started hiring samurai. Rich, important people hired samurai. Poor people who could not afford to hire samurai did not hire samurai. The samurai became organized and powerful, more powerful than the government. So they made their own military government, here. They let the emperor still be emperor, but the shogun is actually in control. Breaking news, the Mongols have sexy time. China. We have sexy time,
China,
said the Mongols.
Please respect us, or else we might
sexy time.
You as well.
Okay, said Japan. So the Mongols came over, ready for sexy times, and died in a tornado. But they tried again, and had a nice sexy time, but then died in a tornado. Then the emperor overthrows the shogunate. Then the shogunate overthrows him back and moves to Kyoto and makes a new shogunate. And the emperor can still dress like an emperor if he wants, that's fine. Now there's more sexy times, like collaborative sex poetry, plays, monkey fun, sex parties. It's time for who's going to be the next shogun. Usually it's the shogun's kid, but the shogun doesn't have a kid. So he tries to get his brother to quit being a monk and be the next shogun. He says okay, but then the shogun has a kid. So now who's it going to be? Vote now on your phones. And everyone voted so hard that the palace caught on fire and burned down. The shogun actually didn't care. He was off somewhere doing sexy times, and the whole country broke into pieces. Everyone is fighting with each other for local power, and it's anybody's game. Knock knock, it's Europe. No, they're not here to take over. They just want to sell some shit, like clocks, and guns, and Jesus. So that's cool, but everyone's still fighting each other for control, now with guns. And wouldn't it be nice to control the capital, which right now is puppets, with no one fucking them. This clan is ready to make sexy times, but first they have to fuck this smaller clan, which is in the way. Surprise, the smaller clan wins, and the leader of that clan steals the idea of invading the capital and invades the capital. And it goes very well. He's about halfway through sexy times when someone who works for him kills him, and then someone else who works for him kills them, and that guy finishes sexy times, and then he confiscated everybody's swords, and made some rules. And now I'm going to invade Korea, and then hopefully China, he said, and failed, and also died. But before he died, he told these 5 guys to sexy time his 5-year-old son until he's old enough to be the next ruler of Japan. And the 5 guys said, yeah, right, it's not going to be this kid, it's going to be one of us, because we're grown-ups. And it's probably going to be this guy, who happens to be way more sexy than the others. A lot of people support him, but a lot of people support not supporting him. They have sexy times, and he wins, and starts a new sexy time right here. And he still lets the emperor dress like an emperor, and have sexy times. But don't get confused, this is the new government, and they are very strict. So strict they closed the country. No one can leave, and no one can come in. Except for the Dutch, if they want to buy and sell sexy times, but they have to do it right here. Now that the entire country was not at war with itself, the population increased a lot. Sexy times increased. Schools were built. Roads were built. Everyone learned to sexy time. Books were published. There was poetry, plays.